Okay, Rich Van Tassel back with you on the Rich Van Tassel Sports Channel. Today is Thursday, September 3rd. We're going to be breaking down the AFC North in just a little bit, but first we're going to get into the Tom Brady Deflategate situation, being that the court has ruled that the suspension is not just and they're overturning it. The NFL is going to appeal, so we'll see what further court decisions will render from here on, but we just want to give you a quick take on it, my personal opinion. Like to start by saying I think this is a colossal waste of time and money. When we're really thinking about what is going on here, we're talking about deflated footballs in a rainy game. So the likelihood of any advantage being gained outside of it might have balanced out the fact that he was getting a better grip on a rainy day. Um, and that's what we're discussing this for. It really doesn't make much sense to me. We're going to qualify again by saying I don't like Roger Goodell at all. I think most of the decisions he made have been hasty. I think he's made decisions based off of public opinion, and I think he is a public relations slave. He thinks that everything needs to be done by what the public is telling him to do, and it often bites him. The Saints situation with the Bounty Gate, nothing made me happier than when Jonathan Vilma took him to court and won. I thought that should have been the end of Roger Goodell. It wasn't. Unfortunately, he's showed further mistakes when he went with the Ray Rice situation. I believe Ray Rice should have been suspended. I don't think Ray Rice is the monster people would have you believe, but that's not really the point here. We're not discussing that, but Roger Goodell obviously made his mistakes there. With all that being said, though, however, the players have collectively bargained that Roger Goodell is allowed to have the decision to make the final choice on the appeals. Now, that I don't know why the players gave him that. I think it's ridiculous. I really don't understand how anyone could justify that. However, that is what is collectively bargained. Now, the players wouldn't like it if Roger Goodell took something to court that they collectively bargained to work for his own gain. And maybe he has. I can't think of any specific examples where that has gone on. But if you're beholden to what you agree to, and the players agreed to this, and Roger Goodell uses it. Now, I don't like that he has that power, and I think it should be eliminated, but while he has that power, you have to deal with that. Now, the court has ruled that basically Roger Goodell shouldn't have that power. Either the NFL is appealing, it's going to go to the next appellate court. I'm not quite sure where that is. I'm guessing it'll happen relatively soon. They're going to try to get this done as quickly as possible within the court systems. I don't know how fast that can be. You never know with the courts. But this season's starting very soon, so this has potential to turn into a big mess. But again, it's just a situation where, despite my opinions on Roger Goodell, unfortunately, he's in the right in this situation, and I believe that the judge is wrong. This is a situation where people, don't ever want to look at how things can adversely affect them until it does adversely affect them. A lot of the players that talk was that they agreed to let Roger Goodell have all this power in the last collective bargaining agreement, which was prior to the 2011 season, was that they had said, well, most of us don't get in trouble. We're not going to be facing discipline, and we just want to play. We need the money. And they didn't think about the fact that when the time comes when they may be falsely accused of something, or maybe in a situation where they believe they're getting a raw deal, they don't want to have Roger Goodell having all that power, but they don't think that through. And a lot of people do that, and it's a very big problem, and it's something that I don't like, in society in general, and it doesn't have to do with sports. People have got to understand that what you allow to be done to other people is allowed to be done to yourselves. You can never make the statement, oh, I'll never be in that situation. Oh, it'll never happen to me. Oh, yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead, let, the NSA surveil whoever they want. I have nothing to hide. But when they start doing it to you, then you won't want it to happen. That's just an example. People would say it's extreme, but it's really not. It's an apples to apples comparison. It's why I don't understand how people can sit there and say, all these players in the league, especially considering they're in a union as well, can say, well, we just want to get paid. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen in the future if Roger Goodell has all this power, because we're never going to be in that situation. I bet Jonathan Vilma thought he'd never be in that situation. And Jonathan Vilma didn't do anything wrong, it turned out. You see, anyone can be, falsely accused of something or be put in a situation that they're not supposed to be in. So, it's, the biggest point I'm trying to get across with this is the players should have never agreed to allow Roger Goodell to have all this power in the first place. And I think that the court needs to do the right thing here and make sure that Tom Brady's suspension is upheld. Now, taking outside of that, I don't think there ever should have been a suspension in the first place. I think this wouldn't be a story if people weren't so obsessed with the NFL and need to know, what's going on in the league all the time, every minute of every day. It can be March 3rd and people are wondering what's going on in the NFL. So that's part of what's playing into this here, and I think that the story, grew legs because of that lust we have for football. This is what happened. It got blown out of proportion. Who knows how many countless millions, maybe even, I don't think it reached the billions level, but certainly a lot of millions were wasted on this. And all for what? It's very clear that Roger Goodell has the power to hear the appeals of suspensions, to make those suspensions. He has the absolute authority. So that's where we stand on that. We're going to take a break here for just a second, and we're going to break down the AFC North as promised. So stay tuned for that.